Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles. My name is Danny De Lillo. I'm here with Samuel, who produced the incredible movie La Ruta. But for those that haven't seen it, let's take a look at a clip.
Es todo lo que tenemos.
Estar bien, Pantojita.
Oiga, pero ni estamos cerca de Nuevo Laredo.
Porque estamos aquí, pero no llegamos. Este mundo es muy, muy feo. Y yo no voy a estar aquí siempre para defenderte. ¿Me entiendes?
Pero lo prometiste.
Samuel, I am delighted to have you here today.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
La Ruta, I'm so excited to get into this film, and particularly with you. Tell us a little bit about the synopsis for those that haven't seen it.
Oh my God, it's a beautiful and powerful story of a Guatemalan family crossing the southern border and the trials involved. It's a very human story. It was a film that was relevant when we made it, and it's a film that's even more relevant now. So I'm so happy that you shared it with everyone.
Well, obviously Star Victoria, directed this film and the creator of this film, and she's not here because she's on set working, which is fantastic. But we're so happy to have you and tell us this incredible story. I would go as far as saying this is one of the most important films that has come out, and I'm so excited that we got to have it at our film festival. This is a story that has just been in existence and going on for many, many, many families, and I think everybody in America and beyond should see it. Obviously it's quite obvious in some respects, but where did the inspiration come for you and Star in terms of creating this particular story?
Well, again, that's tremendous praise, and I appreciate it so much. And to be shown at a venue like New Filmmakers LA, I couldn't be more honored. So the genesis of this project was absolutely born with Star and the writer, Roberto Saye. What I have to say about my involvement is that I was brought into this project by Star because I'd prior experience shooting films in hostile locations like the desert. So I was a natural fit in terms of, making sure that we could do that in the safest way possible, especially with child actors. If I have to say why this story mattered or why Star decided to make it, is because, it's a story that needed to be told. That's the easiest way I jumped on board, is when I saw not just the quality of the script or the quality of her resume, but I saw her passion. For me as a producer, that's gold. I mean, that's money right there. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason why we should be making films, is we're telling stories that, the audience doesn't necessarily may want to hear, but we're telling them stories they need to hear, and we do it in an entertaining way. That's the communication effort of filmmaking.
I mean, this was such a hard story to watch. This beautiful Guatemalan mother with her daughter just traveling through, trying to seek a better life for herself and her family. It's one example of many people that are going through really hardships and just trying to create a better life. And I loved, I was saying, I spoke to Star as well before, and I loved that you didn't shy away from the true experience of how harsh that it actually was. Was that kind of something that was important to you?
Absolutely. And when you realize people's disconnection from these stories that matter, these stories of migration, or these stories where people can be branded as not just aliens, but hostile. The effort of telling that story through film is so powerful, because when you watch the news and the story gets too rough, or when you're watching on social media, you have so many ways out of that experience. You can keep swiping, you can click out, you can go see something that fits what you want to see in that moment. So if we just show the brutality of this experience, people are going to tap out in the same way.
Right.
So what do we put between those moments? It's a hard story of a mother being confronted with the fact that she cannot protect her daughter. That's a tough pill for everyone to swallow. So what do? We make people care about them as a family. We show moments of beauty with that daughter. We show moments of quiet and solitude and trust. That's what makes it hard, when you see those characters go through those hard moments. But you can't have the bad without having some good.
Yeah.
And you have to think of the audience and the way that they should be receiving the story when you're making it.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, for me, it's, when people are migrating to protect their families, for me, it's an easy thing, because I'm like, well, you do anything to protect your family. I would do anything, you would do anything. It's clear and obvious. But I think there's so many disjointed arguments and understanding of what people actually go through just to escape maybe some very difficult circumstances. And I love that you faced that. Was that something that you kind of wanted to help, your audience kind of understand, for those people that don't really understand why people are going through these circumstances, but they're really escaping from extreme hardships, and anyone should be able to protect their family?
Absolutely. And honestly, I have to speak from my personal perspective. I'm a straight white man from Newport, Rhode Island. I have had to migrate across many borders in my life, be they personal or professional, national or socioeconomic. So we had such a diverse cast and crew in front of the camera, behind the camera. Everyone brought a different side of their story to tell to us. And where I think I actually I wanted to tell a story because I know how easy it is for people in my situation to ignore something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, all the motivation factors were there.
Mm-hmm.
That Ruta, the reason it was good wasn't just because we got lucky. It's because everyone really cared about this. And when you're in the desert, and you could be anywhere else, and there's never enough shade, there's never enough cold water. We had plenty of both on set. Let me just get that across.
Especially in the desert.
Especially that, lots of places
Yeah.
to sit, lots of fun stuff. But in those moments where the job gets hard, doesn't matter how much you love watching movies, sometimes it's really hard to make movies. You have to have a higher purpose for your motivation. It's not immediate goal getting. It's not, hey, this is going to look great on my resume. It's, hey, I don't just have to be here. I need to be here. That's why this film was so easy to make.
Yeah. Let's talk about your cast, because they were mesmerizing. I couldn't even blink. Like, it was just, I didn't want to miss a moment, and it was just unbelievable how much they gave of themselves. The mother, the daughter, the whole ensemble cast, like everyone just gave everything. It was, it felt too real almost in some respects. What was the kind of casting process? Because I just feel like everybody just put in a fantastic performance.
Look, I mean, it was an exhaustive casting process, not just looking for the leading talent, but we also had to find extras that, look, they belonged in that world and could kind of also be on that set for that duration of time and not even have a speaking role, but still want to be there. Star, look, high and low for this cast, and I truly believe we got the best for every single role that we possibly could have had. Filmmaking is it's a full contact sport. And it doesn't matter if you're on the nicest air-conditioned stage in the world or out in the desert or the river like we were. Sometimes it gets hard. Sometimes, you empty out your heart and your soul for a moment, and a truck drives by, or someone sneezes, or the worst person in the world forgot to turn their phone off. The fact that we give them a space to give that kind of energy, and also to give it over and over and over again, it speaks to Star as a director, because you don't do that unless you feel safe. You don't do that unless you feel like your emotions are being respected. And Star is such a phenomenal director that, this was a dance that took a lot of partners, and she made everyone give their best. Imagine giving that moment in that heat, in those conditions, and, the framing's off. Well, our fantastic cinematographer, Becky Chen, was there to capture every single moment in the most beautiful detail possible. She did that because of great communication with Star. I was able to produce this to my best with Abby Overstreet because of great communication with Star. And the actors gave their best. High and low, again, lead to extra, gave their best because of great communication with Star. I am standing here on the shoulders of the work that, lifted me so high.
Star is phenomenal. She's got such a wonderful aura about her, and there's some very, very, very tough scenes, and working with young people, children, it can be very challenging about how to orchestrate. What was kind of Star's process in that, in trying to sort of keep it well balanced, but also this is a real story that could happen to a lot of people. Like, how is that kind of balance sort of on set?
Well, at the end of the day, that's a question of responsibility. I mean, we didn't just put, these sad moments, be they of trauma, physical or emotional, or throw kids into the desert because we thought we would get, teary eyes in the audience. We did it because it had to be there. We did it because we had to represent this story authentically, and we did it because we could not deny that the story is too important to manufacture or manicure, or have our, look, every leading man or every leading lady wants to look their best on camera. But when you're going through the brutality of that environment, it's not going to happen. So we had to really, really promote an authentic experience, and we had to do that by getting people to very raw levels of motion, putting the right people in the right environment. But once the cameras were off, oh my God, did we go out of our way to pamper them.
Oh
sure. My God. Every day on set. I mean, you have to, every time you're crossing over to someone, you have to say, thank you so much for being here. Or, that was fantastic. Can I get you anything? Because when someone's giving you so much, at the end of the day, as a producer, I don't like to think of myself in the entertainment business. I'm in the hospitality business. I'm running a beautiful set. And I want to make sure that I care about everyone's time. And that's not just the time of the director, that's the time of the people that are working on that film and the people watching that film.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
If I care about that crew, that means I'm going to give them everything they need and show them respect every chance I can possibly get, because, oh my God, these guys are standing on their feet for hours and hours and hours a day.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're in the desert. They're by the river.
Yeah.
Oh my God, these actors. Let's hook them up with as much air conditioning as possible, especially in the desert. And for the audience watching it, let's tell them a story that needs to be told. Let's not waste their time.
And what is next for you, Samuel?
Thank you so much for asking. First off, I want to talk about, just the professional launchpad of New Filmmakers LA. Not only am I excited for my future in terms of the projects I'm handling at the moment, I'm so excited to be a part of this community. I mean, genuinely. I mean, when you see the films that were played against in my sector or for this month's screening, and then just on and on and on, I mean, you're kind of giving me the keys to the kingdom. You're just telling me, you're making my job easy. My job as a producer is to, separate the wheat from the chaff, or find the signal and all the noise, and find the people I want to work with. What better way to find talented filmmakers than to watch New Filmmakers LA?
I think I'm blushing, but that's no, thank you. We're creating a filmmaking family, and I'm so glad and welcome to being our alumni and being part of that community. And we're crazy because we do this every single month. So
it's the right kind of crazy, and it's just tremendous. And if I could speak to what I'm excited personally, I own a production company, Animal Victory Entertainment, and we've got a few projects in the work this year. We have a beautiful animated film called Relics, directed by Casey Osterberg. We have a wonderful feature film that's coming out, written by Julia Morrison. It's the true story of an FBI agent that fell in love with the serial killer she was profiling.
Ooh.
So if you're into juicy true crime, this is one for you. And just onwards and upwards. And honestly,
Amazing.
I have to jump back to an experience I had on a New Filmmakers panel last month during my time here. It was over Zoom. And one of these wonderful filmmakers, she couldn't make it in person. Who could? It's the pandemic. So she's Zooming in and she's talking about coming out to LA. And she's like, gosh, I want to come out there, but, I don't have a base in LA. Excuse me, I'm not going to say what her name was, but it's like, don't ever say that. We're New Filmmakers LA. This is a fraternity and a sorority that we're going to carry, we're going to wear proudly for the rest of our careers.
Yeah.
If you're coming to this town and you're trying to work in this town and you've been a part of this program, reach out to me. Reach out to anyone involved with it, because we are so excited to meet each other and to work with each other.
Oh, Samuel, this is beautiful, because this is everything we try to create at New Filmmakers, is that community, that inviting community that sometimes isn't always feel when you come to this big, crazy city. So we really appreciate you, and I honestly really encourage everyone, if you're looking to understand and find out about migration and trying to understand the love and the heart and the families that are affected by this, you have to watch La Ruta. Like, it will just enhance you and change you. There's a lot of people that need to be educated to really understand what one goes through, and I'm so honored that you brought it to us at New Filmmakers, and we can't wait for you to keep making more movies for us, so thank you very much.
I can't
Thank you.
wait to be a part of this again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Star. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you for La Ruta and everyone in the cast and crew. We really appreciate you. Samuel, everybody.